It is the 41st millennium. Mankind battles for survival across the universe, besieged on all fronts by the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. One faction of Space Marines stands amidst the chaos, the mightiest of the Emperor's warriors, and a beacon of light in the darkness. This legion, the 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes, the Blood Angels. There we go. Or left. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Ireland Show. Sorry, I had overlay on from last night's painting stream apparently that would not turn off. Cool, good evening everyone. How's everybody? I've got a couple of lists using new points. We've got a couple of lists using old points. Huzzah! Hello Felix. Hello Jim. Zacharias, hello. Actually, Zacharias, did you send me a message on Patreon with a new list? Because I noticed I had a couple of DMs on Patreon. Let me check. I think I had one from you. Oh, you were at RTT yesterday, Zacharias. Okay. Hello, James. Hello, Carter. Hello, Rezio. Hello, Miles. Yeah, let's get into some lists. Let's see what some people are thinking. And what I really need is I really needed some people to submit lists for next week, right? Because next week, I guess I will have no lists to look at as it currently stands, because I don't think there's any point looking at old lists beyond tonight. I'm only looking at a couple lists because they're sitting there in the backlog. So we'll start with some new points lists. We'll see what they look like. We'll talk about how we could convert some of the old lists to new points. But then if you want to go ahead and submit a list for next week, I would sure appreciate that. So yeah, please, if you've got lists, throw them at me for next week. I think probably tomorrow and Tuesday night I'm just going to be building lists to try and figure out what the hell I'm doing list building wise. So let's start with a new list. So this is a list that uses the new points. It's called Transport Angels 2. I guess because maybe it was called Transport Angels before, and now it's Transport Angels 2. So we've got 2 chaplains on foot, we got a Judiciar, we got Lamartes. Lamartes went up 10 points. Yeah, it's fine. The Judiciar is Icon of the Angel. I've used this. It's fine. I wouldn't say it's great. If you need the 10 points, you could surely drop it. Assault Intercessors. I was going to say, sad that they didn't come down on points when the jump back guys did. Double Razorback. Twin Las Cannons on both. The new 80-point Jump Assault Intercessors. You got Blade Guard. You got a Death Company Dreadnought at 145. You got 2 Death Company Marines on foot, now at 125, up 10 points. You got the Death Company 10-man, that is up 20 points. You got a Drop Pod, you got a Land Raider, you got a Scout Squad, you got the Khalid Assassin that is also up. What was she before, 80 or 90? 90? I don't know. She's up quite a bit of points. Okay, so you got 2 scoring units, and you got 2 chaplains on foot. You got 2 small death companies with them. You got 2 Razorbacks. You got the Blade Guard with the Judiciar. You've got the Land Raider. You've still got Lamartes' big squad. You got a drop pod. What on earth is in the drop pod? Yeah, someone help me out. What goes in the drop pod in this list? He didn't tell me, did he? No, he didn't write anything about the list. Okay. Can Assault Intercessors go in not jump pack ones, regular ones. They go in a drop pod. I assume both chaplains are with the Death Company. Lamartus is with the Death Company. Okay, so you got 3 chaplains. You got 3 Death Company. You got the Death Company Dreadnought. That's probably a good ratio of chaplains. Hold on, let me close Steam so I don't hear any stupid pop-ups. Bring back drop pod assault. Yeah, we haven't seen that for a while, have we, Jim? Oh, I suppose the Death Company guys could probably go in the drop pod as well. Okay, interesting. I guess it gives them some options. It feels like not too much has changed, right? Like, if you think about this list, the Death Company Dreadnought went down 20 points, Lamartas and the Death Company went up 30 points, the Calidus Assassin went up 10. So realistically, you could probably just have dropped, like, Icon of the Angel, and this would be last balance data slate. Change. The Blade Guards can go in the drop pod. Okay, yeah, I guess you could drop pod right in the middle of the map and you got the Blade Guards there. Try and hold the side objective, try and hold the middle objective with the fight first. It's not bad. Cool, Maximus. I don't know if I've got you on this list. Hold on. I do not, so drop your list and we'll get you on next week, Maximus, for sure. I don't feel like too much has changed in the status slate, right? Without a shooting unit to go in the drop pod, I don't know what the benefit is. I think the only benefit is you could drop your Blade Guard turn 1 with the drop pod on the center objective, disembark, and you would hold it at the start of turn 2, and it's hard to charge Blade Guard because they fight first. 6 Blade Guard getting charged is still 24 attacks. You can reroll the 1s. Your strength 5, your minus 2 damage. You'll put out a decent amount of damage, right? I think if they gave them an assault ramp, they would put the points up a lot, I imagine. So yeah, this list seems fine. This seems like a pretty standard style Blood Angels list with the Land Raider and the Blade Guard, the 10-man Death Company. Other people do it with a couple of Rhinos, but a couple of Razorbacks is fine. I guess a Twin Link Las Cannon is not the worst thing in the world up on top of a... It's essentially a Rhino with a Twin Link Las Cannon for what, like 25 more points? I mean, I actually have no idea how many points a Rhino is. I don't run them very often. Rhino? Codex, Space Marines, where the hell is it? Here you go, Rhino. I can't see it, I'm blind. Must be here. Rhino, 75 points. 20 points, I suppose. 20 points for a Twin Link Las Cannon is probably quite expensive. But, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to add to the top of the Rhino, right? There's ways you could hold the center objective better. Sure, yeah, I mean, there's always better ways you can do things, I guess. Is it a problem, though? I don't think it is. I've played the Blade Guard enough times to know that in some matchups they're super deadly. In some matchups where the enemy has like a bunch of 3 damage weaponry, they're not so deadly. But yeah, I don't have a problem. Like, getting Blade Guard to the center of the board early in the game is a pretty strong play. They can stick around for a while. You can Armor of Contempt them if you need to. The fight first makes them a little bit obnoxious to charge. And when they do charge now, with the Sons of Sanguinius, if it's a whole squad of Blade Guard, they do a boatload of damage, right? Like I did it this week where I had my enemy have to take like 26 saves at minus 2 damage a time. That's a lot of damage. Kills, you know, like that kills a lot of things. So that was 26 successful wound rolls just from the 6 Blade Guard. That's a lot of damage coming out. I guess hitting strength 7 with lance and lethal hits and baked in rerolls to hit is pretty good. I prefer Blade Guard and Land Raider myself, but yeah, no, I think this is a fine list. Would I change anything? I don't think I would change anything, but I just want to point out that I recommend you probably have 3 scoring units. Like, is the drop pod going to be more useful than another squad of scouts? Probably not. You already have a Land Raider. You already have 2 Razorbacks. I guess your assault intercessors or something can run across the board and you could have another squad of scouts. That's going to be probably more useful than an immobile drop pod that's just going to sit on an objective, right? Maybe it could score some points. You never know. I actually don't think it's the worst play in the world to just drop a drop pod with 6 Blade Guard and Judiciar on an objective turn 1, hopefully in an obscured position, and just say, come at me, right? I actually think that's pretty decent. Okay, if you enjoyed tonight's stream at any point, please hit the like button as well. I would appreciate that. Alright, DoDub101 said, hopefully make the cut for this Sunday. So this list was submitted 6 days ago, so this will be on the old points costs. So just be aware that a couple of units might have changed. Something might, like, well, I can see straight away he's got Lamartus. Alright, so this list is plus 10. I'll keep a score of it, and we'll figure out at the end. Maybe I'll just keep a score of it in another notepad just off the bottom of the screen or something like that. Plus 10. Okay. He has heavy intercessors times 2. Interesting. That's a lot of Gravis battle line. He's got Librarian Librarian Phobos armor. Chaplain with a jump pack, and a captain on foot. So I'm expecting to see assault intercessors to go with the captain. I'm probably expecting to see infiltrators to go with the librarian. So we've got the Ballistus Dreadnought, we've got the 6 Blade Guard, we've got the Death Company Dreadnought. Alright, so he lost 20 points in the Death Company Dreadnought, so he's at minus 10. He then has a 10-man jump Death Company, and a 5-man jump Death Company. He's got Eliminators. Eliminators change points, I guess, because one of the other factions was abusing them. And then there's a problem with 40k in general at the moment, is that one faction can abuse a unit and then they can get nerfed. Or one faction of Space Marines can do that. We've got a Redeemer, we've got a Scout Squad, we've got a Terminator Squad. Terminators went down a little bit, right? I was considering running some Terminators. Probably not the close combat Terminators, because I think the close combat Terminators are kind of garbage, because of their weapon skill being 4 up. I was actually trying to think, is there a unit you can attach to those close combat Terminators to give them +1 weapon skill? So Eliminators did go up 10, and Terminators with guns went down 10. So this list is net up. I think it's net up 20 points. Okay. Anyone considering running a 5-man Terminator squad now? They're 175. What does that make them? 30? 35 a model? So they're 5 more than Blade Guard. They have 1 more toughness. They have 1 more armor save. They have 1 less attack, but they are hitting at strength 10 on the charge. I honestly, in Sons of Sanguinius, I'd much rather have 2 times 5 jump intercessors for 160 than a Calidus and scouts for 165. Jump ints just synergize with a detachment a lot better. Yeah, I mean, jump intercessors I think are much stronger in terms of like killing power, but in terms of like, there's some cool things that Calidus can do. You know, the lone operative can be a pain. The fitting 1 model into a deployment zone or something for behind enemy lines can also be pretty good. James is saying he's trying to find out a way to run 10 Sanguinary Guard effectively. I was thinking, James, of just doing it. I was thinking of just taking either Dante or a captain and just taking 10 Sanguinary Guard. And just rapid ingress them as soon as definitely start them off the board. And then just rapid ingress them as soon as I possibly can, right? What would be a good comparison, actually? This would be a good comparison. Maybe this would be the comparison. Like, I need to make a tactics video this week. Maybe it should be 10 jump intercessors for 160 points. If they charge 10 Sangre Guard, how many do they kill? And vice versa. Look at my DMs. Okay. I will add your list here in a minute, I guess. Yeah, I 35 points. Someone already won a tournament with a squad of Terminators at 185. So I guess you could try a squad of Terminators at 175. It might not be the worst thing in the world. I think the Death Company are still strong. I think the Death Company Dreadnought is still strong. The Ballistas and the Blade Guard are still good. Double Heavy Intercessors is pretty good. I guess the Librarian in this case was supposed to be attached to Eliminators. So Eliminators can't be shot at. You've got 3 Las Fusils. I don't know if I feel like 3 Las Fusils is worth 85 points. Las Fusil is like strength 9, d6 damage. It's not terrible, but I don't think it's great. The reason they got nerfed is because someone was, or one of the factions were like shooting twice with Eliminators. They were jumping in and out of an impulsor and shooting twice. So that's why they got nerfed, I guess. I mean, people might still do that. I'm a new player. Can I come to your GT in Scotland to battle? Or you only want to experienced players? Yeah, new players can come, man, but it's sold out in under 24 hours. Which probably is a good sign, which means we'll probably try and run one again next year. So, I guess we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't need to be super experienced to come to GT. There's always a bunch of casual people that go to these sort of events as well. Some people go just to have fun. Sometimes people just take crazy stuff as well because they want to try it. Like I went to GT where I took a super heavy just because I wanted to have fun. I didn't think my army was super competitive that season. I can't remember what season it was. One of the seasons in 9th edition. So I just took something that I thought would be fun. If you only play one army like me and you're in a period where the army's not doing so well competitively, sometimes you just need to go and have fun. I'm not sure I like double heavy intercessor. You know that? Like I have one squad of heavy intercessors. I've run them a lot. I like one squad of them, but I feel like I can't get on board with 2 squads because I think if you're trying to be really competitive, you want infiltrators. So 1 squad of heavy intercessors, 1 squad of infiltrators would be good, I think. Are you near the New Forest? What are you on about? New Forest, sorry. Not sure what you're asking, Sanguinius' love child. Alright, hopefully this make the cut. Just started playing in 10th, and some of my options are limited. Running Flesh Tearers, but draw Seth and Lamartas is probably the right call, because Lamartas is generally very strong. Blade Guard and 1 squad of Heavies and the Land Raider. The other squad will be in the backfield to hold the home. Yeah, so I would probably try and swap that backfield squad for a squad of Infiltrators. Really being a fan of the -1 to hit on objectives. Yeah, it's not -1 to hit, it's a -1 to AP against 1 damage weapons. So maybe you were a little bit confused, but yes, the heaviest intercessors are very, very good against 1 damage weapons when they're standing on objectives, and pretty much heavy intercessors don't do anything but stand on objectives. So you can just think of it as they have a 2-up save when they stand on an objective against 1 damage weapon, and it's 15 wounds at toughness 6. It's very good for the points. And typically they'll be in cover as well on the objective, so... You have a unit of Death Company, you've got your Terminators, you've got the Death Company Dread, I have the Judiciar that I could swap with the Captain. Open to ideas on the Eliminators. I just think they're cool and would like to use them. Yeah, I think they're cool and I would like to use them, but I don't think I would pay 160 points for them. I think... I have Eradicators, Aggressors, Incursors, Infiltrators, Stern Guard, and a Ball Predator. So I think you would swap one squad of those Heavy Intercessors for a squad of Infiltrators, and I think you want to add... Well, you got two choices. You could add more Scouts, or you could do what DTM was saying in chat a minute ago, like get some jump Intercessors in that list, because they're nice and cheap now, and they can score, and they can kill in the Sons of Sanguinius detachment. So I would probably do that. The lower to mid tables of GTs are full of casuals, which is where you'll probably end up after losing your first game. And honestly, if you lose your first game, muck it, because I lost my first game GT a year ago, maybe. I think I played Necro. I think that was it. I played Necrons, and I think the guy either won the tournament or came second in my first game. So I lost my first game against Necrons. That was in the Arcs of Omen season, actually, because I was running... I remember the game, because I could have won the game, actually. I was running Gilliman with my Blood Angels. Remember that season where we were allowed to run anything? So I had Gilliman in my list, and he won, he charged, and killed the Silent King in one round of combat. And I didn't think he was going to do it. Like, I didn't think Gilliman could kill the Silent King in one round of combat. So I didn't make the charge in turn 2. I waited like a whole other turn and made the charge in turn 3. And I lost the game, and it was pretty close, actually. But when I did charge, Gilliman did like 12 mortal wounds. I rolled a bunch of 6s, and in last edition he did like D3 mortal wounds on every 6 or something. So I did 12 mortal wounds plus a bunch of 3 damage weapon and killed the Silent King outright in one turn. So I could have actually won that game. But my point of the story was, losing that first game, I think I went on to win all my other games, like finish the tournament 1-4, 1 loss at the start, then 4 wins in a row. But those other 4 games were like the most fun I've ever had at GT, right? Because you're just playing people that are there for fun or whatever. They're not trying to be super competitive. They're just trying to have a fun day, and that's honestly really fun. So if you lose your first game and you want to finish in the top bunch, you're not gonna do that anymore. So just pivot and play really fair and play really fun and do that. And I actually won best sportsmanship in that event. I think everybody I played against voted for me in best sportsmanship, including the Necron player, because he said to me at the end when I won it, he said, "Congratulations, I voted for you." And I was like, "Did you really?" And he's like, "Yeah." So even though because I guess when you're that's a good vote to get, actually, because when you're at a GT and you're playing those players that are the most difficult to play, that's when like people are sometimes being a little bit janky. So it was good to know that he voted for me, actually. Okay, let's look at a fourth list. This is a Iron Storm Spearhead list, and I don't know too much about Iron Storm Spearhead. But yeah, people play Tabletop Simulator inside the BAC Discord. Yeah, another thing is, surely there's a local game store or there's a local Games Workshop. I would go there and just ask. Like, the Games Workshop near me often runs like small 1-day tournaments, and sometimes they run 2-day tournaments as well. Okay, you've got a captain with a jump pack, you've got a tech marine with a bunch of enhancements, and you've got another tech marine with the 2 big enhancements for Iron Storm. These are going to be a staple in all Iron Storm lists, and both of these just got like a 10 point cost increase, didn't they? Yes, so Master of the War Machine is now 30 points, Adept of the Omnissiah is now 35. They were expensive before, they're really expensive now. So this guy would go up 10 points, and the guy below him would go up 10 points as well. Okay, we have 1 squad of Assault Intercessors. We have a Brutalis Dreadnought. I guess that's come down 15 points. I was building my Brutalis Dreadnought last night. I think they might be viable now. I'm not really sure. 160 points for them feels like it might be okay for a 12 wound model with a lot of melee damage and a bunch of mortal wounds coming out. I was going to say, I might proxy a Brutalis on Wednesday night then. We'll see. I need to build a list for Wednesday to play Eldar. Okay, you got the Centurions with the drills. Interesting choice to bring Centurions and Ironstorm. I guess if you got a way to if you got Land Raider or something to deliver them, it might be okay. You've got a Lancer, you've got a Reaper. I'm really not on board with the Reaper this edition. I'm just not. 150 points for a Reaper. I really like the Reaper in 9th as well. What's the Reaper's? It gets sustained 2 or something. This model's twin onslaught cannon gets sustained 2 when targeting infantry. So you get 12 shots against infantry. Assume 4 will miss, because you're on WS3 up. And assume 2 6s. So the 2 6s burst into 3 hits, which basically makes up for your misses. So, the heavy onslaught cannon will get essentially 12 rolls to wound with dev wounds. So it'll average like 2 dev wounds and a bunch of AP0 saves. Yeah, I don't know why it's so expensive, right? 2 dev wounds and a bunch of AP0 saves. Alright, you could fish for dev wounds because it's twin linked. So you re-roll the 10 that are not 6s, fishing for dev wounds. So maybe on a good day you get 4 dev wounds. I don't know. 4 dev wounds, man, for 150 points. Anyone like the Reaper? Like, I just think it's trash, man. I liked it so much in 9th edition. Yeah, I just can't get on board with it in 10th. Well, maybe they're decent in Ironstorm. I don't know if I think they're. I think they're trash. I think they were. I guess maybe they were good for Blood Angels in 9th edition, and they're not good now for them. I guess, but I guess they're fine in Ironstorm. You get an extra hit in there that could potentially be a 6. You've got a squad of Inceptors, you've got Land Raider Redeemer, you've got a squad of Outriders, you've got the Scouts. The Captain roams around on his own, providing a little threat to the backfield and a small. I don't think a 95 point captain provides any threat anymore on his own. Centurions are in a Land Raider, the Brutalis and Assault Intercessors are in reserve. I'm thinking Outriders will be good for taking out some chaff, but you could just swap for some Jump Intercessors. I guess an Ironstorm, possibly. Outriders might be better than Assault Intercessors. Do the like. Yeah, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not qualified to talk about Ironstorm. I guess I just haven't ever played it. You bring the 2 Tech Marines to create a bubble of buffs. You've got a Brutalis, which feels like it's a close combat unit, and you've got a Land Raider, which kind of feels a bit like a close combat unit. So, like, where are the Tech Marines going? They're going with the 1 Lancer. I don't know. This list feels like a bit. Even if I was qualified to speak about Ironstorm, I would be. I feel like there's not enough direction on this list. It's like a Reaper, a Redeemer, and a Brutalis. And then the 1 Lancer, it's like. So you don't have anti-tank, but you've got a ton of anti-infantry. Surely one of the strengths of this detachment is using things like Gladiator Lancers because the inbuilt rerolls from the Ironstorm detachment helps them loads, right? Can a priest not revive anymore? No, priests don't revive anymore, Carter. That's gone. That was a 9th edition thing. Klaus, greetings from Fenris. What's your opinion on Redemptor Dreadnoughts? I rate the shooting with option to melee higher than a Reaper for its better shooting. What do you think? See, I was going to run Redemptor Dreadnoughts, man. I was going to run them this week because the new points and everything is changing. They are like 215 points, right? They are a lot. Where is it? Redemptor Dreadnought. 210. So Brutalis is 50 points less. Having played Redemptors a lot in 9th edition, right? Like, I played them a lot. The staple of my Blood Angels list in 9th edition for like 6 months, maybe even a year, was like 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. And the big problem that Redemptor Dreadnoughts had in 9th edition was lack of an invuln save. But you could actually fix that in 9th edition because you got like Shield of Sanguinius and stuff. And random number of shots from this plasma cannon. I swear if this plasma cannon was like flat 3 or flat 4, it would be so much better. It would feel so much more reliable. I'd probably take these things way more often because they're swingy as hell. And part of me is starting to wonder, like, because I was thinking of going double Vindicator, double Redemptor, and I think they do different things, right? Vindicator is very much anti-tank because it's strength 14. Redemptor, I guess, is very much anti-elite infantry because it's AP 4 and it's 3 damage. So, I mean, this gun kills elite infantry. That's what it does. That's what it says on the tin. And it's also blast. So most squads have at least 5 guys. So you're getting extra shots as well. And I do like it, and I do like the -1 damage, and I do like the fact that it's got like a strength 14 fist for Blood Angels at 6 attacks. But I think 210 seems pricey, because I mean, I used to run them in 9th when they were like 170, 180 or something. They felt pretty pricey then. Trusted Intent, they weren't T10 with a 2-up save, so that's an improvement. And cover wasn't easy to get on vehicles and stuff in 10th, right? Braden says it's way too swingy for 210 points. Yeah, I mean, that was the big problem with them in 9th, is they felt swingy, right? And I feel like re-rolling the number of shots on a weapon is like one of the lowest values you can use a CP for, right? If you roll a 1... and you're only getting 1 shot, it's kind of trash. But if you're rolling a 6 and you're getting 7 shots, it's kind of amazing. I don't know why these have been left so swingy. I don't think they needed to be. I think that's the one thing that puts me off them. It's a pity, because we used to be able to run Contemptor Dreadnoughts, and they had like a fixed number of shots, and they were pretty good, right? Yeah, so this Iron Storm list is a little bit confusing to me. I feel like if I was doing Iron Storm, I'd have some more las cannons in there, because las cannons benefit a lot from the detachment rule. D3 plus 4 would also be nice. I could even go like D4 plus 3 or something, or 1 plus 2 D3 would even be better. I mean, that's why people used to take the Leviathan Dreadnought, right? Because Leviathan basically had the same weapon, 2d3, and 2d3 is more reliable than a d6. So even if it was like 2d3 plus 1, I would probably run the plasma. It probably should be that. It doesn't need to be so bloody swingy. It's just ridiculous how swingy it is. It does actually make me wonder about like flamers and something like that. When you know that, like, sometimes you come up against an enemy that's got a flamer that's like 2d6 shots. I guess the Redemptor's a good example, in that it's got 2d6 plus 6. Like, maybe those numbers should just be squeezed a little bit. If it was me balancing the game, I would squeeze them so it was like more uniform, right? So yeah, 210 points. I don't know. I want to field Redemptor Dreadnoughts. They're one of the few models that I actually got 3 fully painted and magnetized and everything. But I just can't field them. And I think the Onslaught Gatling Cannon is absolute trash as well. Like, it would be nice if the other weapon, the Onslaught Cannon, was worth it over the plasma, but it's just not. Like, It's like it's laughably bad to me, honestly. Yeah, I mean it's honestly laughably bad. Okay, next list. Okay, it's Mohammed, and he's got a tournament coming up, so he would like me to review his list. So let's do that. You have a gun that's capable of killing 9 Gravis Marines in a single shot. It's hecka powerful. Yeah, it's hella powerful, but would it not just be better if it was uniform, right? Like, I don't think any gun should probably kill 9 Gravis Marines in a turn DTM. That's kind of stupid. So would it not just be better if it was 4 shots, right? Like, if you change the Redemptor from D6 to +1 to just flat 4, I'd probably run 2 of them. I'd probably run 2 of them quite often. That's 8 strength 9 shots into an Oath of Moment target. That feels pretty good to me. I'd be willing to do that. I think that'd be pretty good at killing elites. I'd use it every game. I mean, you know, you go to an event and you both your Redemptors target that squad and you roll 2 6s, you're laughing. But then you go to you're at a table where it's really important that you win the game and you roll 2 1s. You know, like it just I don't like winning or losing tournament games on weapons that have D6 shots, I guess. Or I don't like relying on weapons like that in tournament play. Because ultimately, most of my lists are built thinking about tournaments, right? So yeah, I just don't like it. I don't want to do it, really. I don't like it. The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Yeah. I mean, I'm off the Librarian Dreadnought, and he has an 83% chance of rolling what you want to do, you know? So, like, if I'm off that, because I do think Warhammer is a skill-based game. Like, I don't think it's a dice game. I think it's skill-based. If the armies were all balanced, it was skill-based. With fucking 30-point mega knobs, it's not. It doesn't feel that balanced at the moment. I haven't. Do you know? I think I do actually have the profile of the mega knobs. I'd like to convert those mega knobs. I would like to compare those mega knobs to Terminators and figure out why the hell they're pointed at 30 points per model. Okay, we have Children of Baal, 2,000 points, Sons of Sanguinius, with Dante and Tycho the Lost, and a chaplain with a jump pack with Visage of Death. I guess I don't really rate Visage of Death, but it's fine. We got 2 rhinos. We've got 10 assault intercessors with jump packs. We've got double ballistic dreadnought. I think that's pretty decent for 180 points. We got 20 Death Company on foot. These guys did go up 10 points. We got 5 Death Company with jump packs. These guys also went up 10 points. We've got 2 scouts, and we got 2 Vindicators. Oh, that's funny. So the Vindicators both came down 15 points, so that gives him 30 back. And then his Death Company went up 10, 10, and 10. So his list stayed exactly where it was. Double Vindicator is cool. Double Scout is good for scoring. 25 Death Company is pretty cool. 2 Ballistic Dreadnoughts in there as well. 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs. A Chaplain to attach to one of the Death Company. Tycho the Lost to attach to the Death Company on foot. And then Dante, I guess, to attach to the Assault Intercessors with jump packs. The interesting thing about attaching Dante to the Assault Intercessors with jump packs is I kind of feel like the Sanguinary Priest is a better option. I mean, I really want to run Dante this week just because. I guess maybe. Did he say if this was a tournament? Yeah, it's for a tournament. I think the Assault Intercessor. I think the Sanguinary Priest is a better option when attached to Assault Intercessors jump packs, because it takes the 50 attacks they have and makes them AP2. And then it takes the 20 wounds they have and give you a 5-up feel no pain. Whereas Dante gives you +1 to hit. And +1 to charge. But Dante does have 9 -3 AP attacks, which is We don't have much stuff that's AP3 in our codex. Or I think the only things that we can get that have AP3 are the Death Company Dreadnought, the Furioso Dreadnought, Dante, Mephiston, Astaroth. I don't think we have anything else. And Dante does get 9 attacks at AP3. And I guess he is lethal hit strength 9 now, I think, on the charge. Dante and the Priest. I guess you could do Dante and the Priest. That would be very expensive, though. Yeah, strength 9 on the charge with lethals. 9 attacks. AP3. Did I not say Mephiston Sword? Sorry, I think I said Astaroth, Dante, and Mephiston. I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't. I feel like Mephiston deserves some play as well, but yeah, maybe Dante pick is fine. I do feel like Priest is maybe the more staple pick, but maybe Dante because he's Dante. And if here's the difference is if the whole unit of assault intercessors die, the Priest doesn't do shit on his own, right? He just runs in like my priest was only a live model this week. He charged a squad of Gretchen and the fucking Gretchen killed him. Whereas like if Dante was the only model alive, pretty sure he can kill. The Gretchen can't kill Dante, and he can kill a bunch of them. So maybe you take Dante because when the squad inevitably dies, you'd rather have Dante alive than the Priest. I mean, I guess that's the reason, right? I actually like taking double Vindicator and double Ballistus. I think that's pretty cool. I think that gives a bunch of anti-tank firepower. Your Death Company can mop up any infantry. You got 25 of them. You've got 2 scouts. Vindicator is also pretty good at killing infantry. You got 10 assault intercessors. They're good at killing infantry too. You got the double Rhino to protect the Death Company as well. This is a good list. I'm not sure I take Tycho the Lost. The reason I wouldn't take him personally is because I don't like the fact that he is like OC0. And he doesn't give his Death Company any OC. And you have 3 units of Death Company. And only 1 chaplain. And I don't think that's enough chaplains. We often talk about having at least 1 chaplain for every 2 Death Company. So I'd probably lose Tycho the Lost. I feel like he's a little bit gimmicky as well. Yeah, sure, he can do some mortal wounds when he's shooting. Yeah, if he gets killed, he can do some mortal wounds as well. I think I would rather just have the other chaplains so the Death Company have some OC on there. But maybe this is fine. I mean, if you've played with it and you're happy with it and you think that 1 chaplain's enough, good for you. This is a good list, though. I like it. I think it would do reasonably decent at a tournament. Tycho doesn't have... I'm just checking this. Oh, I forgot Tycho had advanced in charge for the Death Company. Oh, that's pretty cool. But he doesn't have any keyword that's giving... Like, he's not a chaplain. So the 10 Death Company with him are an OC0, which is... Ugh. Mephiston actually has less defense than a 65-point librarian. No, he doesn't. Does he? He's got more toughness. He's got better save. He's got feel no pain. Why do you think he's got less defense? Mephiston's ability, his transfixing gaze, is actually awesome as well. Just doesn't always happen, right? Okay. So yeah, I would add a chaplain, Mohammed. I think that's probably the one standout thing that you're missing. Okay, let's look at another 2,000 point Sons of Sanguinius. Captain and Gravis. I didn't notice that. Chaplain with jump back, Judicar, Sanguinary Priest. 10 assault intercessors on foot, 5 on foot, 10 on foot. 6 blade guard. 10 jump death company, 5 jump death company, 5 infiltrators, 5 scouts, a lancer, a crusader, strange choice, a repulsor. The crusader is a strange choice. What's behind the crusader? Let's see. I hope all is well. Thank you for doing what you do. I haven't posted before, but thought, why not? I normally run Librarian Dreadnought, but I'm going to think of lists without it. Any advice would be appreciated. Lamartas with 10 Death Company, a captain with 5 Assault Intercessors. I don't think the captain in Gravis can go with Assault Intercessors, by the way. Can he? We can check that. Usually they limit it by armor type, right? Yeah, no. Captain in Gravis cannot join those Assault Intercessors. Okay. The priest with 10 Assault Intercessors. The Judiciar with the Blade Guard. Oh, he's got Lamartas in as an epic hero. Oh, my bad, I didn't see that. Oh, it's weird. It's got characters and epic hero separate. That's fine, I suppose. Okay, so you do have enough. Chaplains. What's he got transport wise? Nothing. The Crusader. The Crusader and the Repulsor. No one plays Crusaders, right? The Repulsor is okay for 190. It's a bit of a bullet magnet. It probably dies in the first couple of turns, but it could protect a bunch of guys for 190, I guess. But you submit the list. When the stream ends, Brayden, put your list, like the text like this, into the comments for this YouTube video, and then I'll get it for next week. But you have to wait for the stream to end. Yeah, or you can head over to the community tab on the YouTube page and you can post it there. Either or. So just wherever you're, I assume you're watching on YouTube, underneath there should be like a BAC logo for the channel. Click to go to the channel and then click on at the top where it's like, I'll show you. So you would like click view your channel. So like here in this community post, just doesn't matter what it says in here, just post it in here. But make sure it's a new comment and not a reply, because I only get notifications about new comments and not replies. So if you reply to an existing comment, I won't see it. Okay. Let me think about this a second. I don't know why there would be a Crusader. It's got a bunch of bolters on it. My opinion of bolters this edition is like, why even have bolters or stubbers? Hell, why even have heavy bolters? Bolters aren't a good weapon anymore. They don't do anything. You know, like I had a 10-man or a 5-man squad of infiltrators ready to shoot like 10 orcs that were bearing down on them. I don't even think I took a wound off one unit of, like, I think it was like 1 unit of knobs. I don't even think I took a wound off them with 10 bolt shots. Like, what? Like, it's almost, I don't know. I wouldn't take a Crusader. I don't think the bolters are worth it. I'd take a regular Land Raider or I'd take a Redeemer. Those are both good choices. I have a Crusader. Honestly, don't run it. The Clixus Assassin. I don't run a Clixus Assassin at the moment. I don't know if she's as good as she was on 9th. They are going to be re-releasing Agents of the Imperium soon, Maximus. So when they do that, I'll make some videos on it for sure. Mephiston has some good strength with the wound rerolls. Yeah, I mean, I think Mephiston's not too bad. Like, strength 11 on the charge now. We don't have much that's more than strength 10. It would just be nice if Mephiston could maybe attach Blade Guard. I think that would make him really strong. Like, I think the Judiciar with Blade Guard is strong, but I think Mephiston with Blade Guard would be even better. Especially with Transfixing Gaze, right? Because, like, Transfixing Gaze can make the enemy -1 weapon skill and -1 attack. So imagine a Blade Guard squad of 6 with Mephiston getting charged. All the Blade Guard and Mephiston fight first. Then when your enemy wants to fight you back with like half their squad at that point, you make them both -1 weapon skill and -1 to their attack characteristic. Like, that could be crazy good. Jump assault intercessors with a jump captain, the power fist becomes strength 11. Well, I guess you're right, Braden. Yeah. I very rarely run jump captains these days, I guess. I used to run them all the time in 9th. Also used to run bike captains all the time and bike chaplains all the time in 9th. Never run them now. I want to get a display case to put all those characters in because I feel sad that they just sit in a box now. I want to put my super heavy tank in the display case as well because I feel sad about it just sitting in a box as well. It literally sits in a shoebox now, never to be opened. Okay, so I would switch out this Land Raider. Infiltrators is good. 15 Death Company is good. 10 Assault Marines with a Sanguinary Priest. I guess he's probably putting them in the Crusader. I think you've got to switch it, though. You could lose Artisan of War. I don't think Artisan of War is worth all that much. Maybe, but I don't think this is worth enough to not be able to take a regular Land Raider over a Crusader. And I think you'd have to swap out this captain anyway for a non-Gravis armor unit. Overall, I think it's not too bad. Possibly suffers in the fact that there's only one real dedicated like scoring unit here. It would be nice maybe if one of these squads could change to like a jump intercessor squad, because then they could potentially add some more scoring potential. But yeah, I think that's the weakness I'm seeing. Like, having one squad of scouts is probably just not enough to be scoring. You do have 5 characters. It does feel like maybe one character needs, like, maybe this captain needs to go, and we just get 5 jump assault intercessors into the list. They can score, and also makes you assassinate a little bit more difficult when your opponent takes it. Blood Buffalo finished his display cabinet today. Nice, dude. If you've got 2 seconds, guys, could you hit a like? Could you hit the like button on the stream? I would appreciate it. All right, so we're going to do a bonus list that was just sent to me in Discord by James. Apparently, he's won 3 games with it. How the hell you played 3 games with the new points already, James? You maniac. I thought you were busy with wife and kids. You lied to me. But okay. So I was going to say, I'm looking at the list, and he starts the list with Mephiston. Okay, James is a maniac. I do love James, though. And he's been on the channel before. He's a great guy. So, this is going to be the last list today. Please like the stream before you leave. If you want to get your new points list on the show next week when the stream ends, make sure you put it in the comment section. And you've got a few days to do that, right? Like, you don't need to do it tonight. I'll check next Sunday before I go live, and I'll pick up some lists then. All right, we're starting with Mephiston and Dante, and the combi weapon lieutenant, because he's a pain in the arse to deal with. We've got 10 assault intercessors. I assume these guys are going to go with Mephiston. We've got the intercessor squad, I guess, for sticky objectives. We've got Death Company Dreadnought ×2. So I don't even think he's gone for any chaplains. He's just going for 2 Death Company Dreadnought missiles. What I mean by missiles is he's going to reserve these guys, he's going to bring them in and just essentially suicide them into the enemy like a missile. Probably he's going to pay the extra so that they can consolidate further, like aggressive onslaught, and just try and eat up a bunch of stuff with the Death Company Dreadnoughts. Got 2 squads of Inceptors, both with plasmas. We've got the Infiltrators for backfield ×2. Interesting. Okay. We actually have 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Funny after we bashed them the whole stream, eh? And then we've got the 10 Sanguinary Guard, I assume with Dante. So he's got no transport for those assault intercessors in Mephiston. They're just on foot, all 10 of them doing something, I guess, running like maniacs across the battlefield. Two Death Company Dreadnought missiles, 2 squads of Inceptors. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, right? Like, you're dropping down 2 Plasma Inceptor squads on their objectives to shoot things. Is the Predator Annihilator any good? I think Predator tanks are pretty decent for the points. I mean, running the Destructor, and I think it's fine, McFatson. In some ways, I actually think it's quite good, but I've played against Triple Annihilator, albeit the Triple Annihilator was Death Guard, but I mean, a Death Guard Predator Annihilator is pretty much the same as a Space Marine Predator Annihilator. I would say that if the opponent does not have an answer to them, as in they can sit 48 inches away and shoot 3 las cannons every turn, and they can do that for the whole game. If you've got 3 Annihilators, that's 45 las cannon shots with no answer. Yes, that's pretty good. What does this, is this actually, let me add this up. So tell me, if you've gone 3-0, James, how the hell are you playing the Assault Intercessors in Mephiston? You're just running them across the battlefield? Like headless chickens? Like they're just going to run? Cover to cover, I guess? This is 2,000 points on the nose. 100%, 2,000 points on the nose. 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts, 6 Inceptors, 10 Infiltrators, 2 Redemptors, 10 Sanguinius. I need a list that will win because I'm sick of losing at the moment. Should I just run your list, James? Will I get, because I've played all these things a bunch of times. How are you playing Mephiston? You're running cover to cover. Okay. I mean, they move 6 inches. It's pretty hard to move cover to cover. How much duster on my Sanguinius? Well, there's no duster on any of my models, man, because they're all in those like pull-out tray things, whatever you call those. I might, yeah, I was going to say, I was thinking of running double Vindicator. You think double Redemptor is honestly more viable than double Vindicator? You do play with different terrain in America. So, off topic for a second here. We know what the Blood Angels Commander t-shirt is going to be. Let me see if I can change the camera. There we go. So, I was showing this on my live. I was only live for a little bit yesterday. I had to go out to a wedding dance and even. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. So this graphic of Mephiston here from 2nd edition, like the first graphic of him from the book. We're going to get this graphic. We're going to use that as inspiration, and we're going to put him in this pose. So it will be Mephiston, like the silhouette of him here. And that's going to be the BAC t-shirt. So I'm paid the artist now, so I'm hoping to get a super awesome looking image of Mephiston in this pose with like BA Commander underneath, or BA Commander up above. I don't know exactly how. I guess we'll figure that out. But that's going to be the first t-shirt for the BAC. So hopefully, maybe like a month or something, I'll have the prototype design. I can share it with you guys, and then we can figure out how to actually let you guys buy some t-shirts. Because people have been asking for ages to buy BAC t-shirts. So that's going to be the first one. If it does well, we'll do more. If it does nothing, I guess that'll be the first one. The first and last. Redemptors are so good in melee. Run double Vindicator over Redemptor. The problem with Vindicators, though, is they're great in Gladius. They're 24 inches, kind of sucks in Sons of Sanguinius, right? Will the figure be standing on the top of a mound of salt? I mean, it should be standing on the top of a fucking 30-point Mega Knob. Because Mega Knobs are... I've already paid for the artist to do it, dude, so we don't need to worry about the payment, if that's what you're saying, Carter. It's done. It's paid for. I just broke like $100 a month on Patreon now. Someone became a patron today or yesterday, and it's like for the first time ever, I get more than $100 a month on Patreon. So that's what I'm paying. That's what I'm paying. The t-shirt's paid for. I was going to say I do have the data sheet, I think, for Mega Knobs. Let me see. I have to download it. Hold on. The big difference between Vindicators and Gladius and Sons is what? One turn of advance and shoot? Yeah, but also the other big difference, I guess, DTM, is you can make the Vindicator AP4 and ignore cover, which is also pretty good. Let's say you're facing like an enemy Land Raider. They would go from like saving on potentially like a 4-up to saving on a 6. James says, anything that is exposed will just die. My experience is the Redemptors say fuck the maths because of the -1 damage. I guess there is a lot of like power fists and stuff in the meta, right? So I guess -1 damage would be very good against like that massive squad of Mega Knobs that I had to deal with this week. That's why I was thinking it could be worth trying the Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Alright, give me 1 second here. I think I can get the Mega Knobs profile up. Dread Mob. Mega Knob. I couldn't believe how strong they were, though, honestly. Alright, I got it. Let me bring it up. Okay, so these guys are 30 points per model. Toughness 6, 2-up save, 3 wounds. During a battle round which you call a WAG, models as a unit have the Feel No Pain 4-up ability. And I guess when they call the WAG, they get an advance save as well. Everybody's added with a custom shooter, which is basically like a 4-shot bolt gun, and a power claw. Strength 9, -2, 2, and I guess when they call the WAG, they get, what is it, +1 attack and +1 strength? So it's 4 attacks per guy at strength 10, is that right? 30 points per model. They're basically a Terminator, but 5 points cheaper on every model. It's the 4-up Feel No Pain, man, though. That's brutal, yeah. Oh, and advance and charge during the WAG, yeah. And they can have 2 turns of WAG in that Bully Boy detachment. The Furioso is better than the Redemptor in melee. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. It's just the AP of the Furioso is nice. I really hope the Blood Angels attachment gets... that's, like, my wish for the Blood Angels attachment is... give us a bit more, like... survivability for our jump units and give us the way to get one more AP here and there. Because I really hate that we're only AP2 now. It feels really weak. And to something like this, it feels really weak. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm going to be building some new lists in the next couple of days. I might be live one extra day this week to talk about army lists, I guess. It's not as easy as you think to shoot the mega knobs. They'll come out of a friggin' truck or something. They'll move 8 inches. They'll advance up to another 6. And then they'll charge. These guys have a pretty, like, if they're in some stupid battle wagon or something, they'll have like a 20-inch threat range. So, yes. I got crushed by orcs this week, and I know, I've played orcs enough times to know how to deal with them. I know I need to shoot them to beat them. Like, it. You 100% have to shoot the orcs to beat them. Like, it's pointless trying to beat them in melee. You won't beat them in melee. Yeah. We need actually relics back for a jump relic that grants advance and charge. I liked the relic that we had before that let us turn off Overwatch. That was pretty good as well, wasn't it? I forget, Angel's Wing, was it called, or something like that? I really liked that relic. The Sanguinary Priest cannot join the Sanguinary Guard, unfortunately. It's a dumb thing, and I don't know why they haven't fixed that. Anyway, I have to go because my wife wants to watch another episode of Fallout. We're like 5 episodes in now, so maybe we'll actually finish it this next week. She's actually texted me. So that means, like, hurry up and finish, John. Do you feel you'd be better against orcs now that you have a game under your belt against them? Yeah, I mean, maybe DTM, but I mean, if we go back to that game, right?
I have awoken.
Do you know what? I was going to say screw my wife. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay for a minute longer and show you. I'm just going to pull up that game, right? Because I just want to say how crazy that game is, because yes, I haven't played Orcs in 10th edition, so there's a bit of rust around, right? But like not a shitload of rust. There was a bit of rust around. We go back to turn, like if we can find the overhead from this game, right? And this is battle round 1, so start of round 2 maybe. He went first, right? So like, just before he's moving at the start of round 2, look where I moved in turn 1, right? Like, this is my DZ line was here. Make this bigger. This was the DZ line here. So like, this predator purposely stayed. Look how far this predator is from this. Like, this is like, what, 8 inches? 12 inches? So I'm like 20 inches maybe from this objective here. The Meganobs came out and went right across this whole thing and ate both the predator and that. And I purposely kept this back. Like, as far, like, I basically pushed this, because this predator deployed, if we go back to the start of the game, like, the predator was just here, right? I purposely didn't bring it any forward more than it needed to go, right? Like, it almost moved sideways, right? I just put it forward enough that I could get line of sight on the Meganobs here. Like, I purposely didn't move this out, because I was thinking, I know he's coming out of transport and moving 3, then 5, then advancing, and then charging. And I was like, fucking A, man. Over here, I think he actually did a misplay, right? Because I think he put Gaskell inside this transport. A bunch of people said in the comments he wasn't allowed to have Gaskell inside the transport. So, although he wins this game, it's pretty big if Gaskell can't go inside this transport, right? Because this transport has a capacity of 22, from my understanding. And Gaskell and Mokari are 19, and then he's got two Meganobs in there, but it would be 4, 2 each. So you'd actually 23 in this transport. So he had more in this transport than he was allowed. But so that maybe changes the game, because that's not really valid, right? But hey, it's his first time with the new art codex. We'll give him a little bit of leeway, right? But yeah, like, I really feel like I didn't move much forward, right? The Vanguard veterans in here are actually protected by a line of scouts. So, like, if he does manage to make a charge into this building, he cannot target the Vanguard veterans because there's scouts basically all in front of them. So that was a conscious choice to get a unit forward and have them protected. Over here, I barely moved forward at all. And I mean, I want my Land Raider in the middle of the board. The Land Raider is going to be the first thing that dies every game. But, yeah. That was a tough game. That was a tough game against Orcs. Maybe I do better next time, but yeah, you can't underestimate how friggin' fast they are. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna go watch Fallout. I will see you guys some night this week. Playing Eldari on Wednesday, so tune in for that. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening. Please submit your lists for next week, using the new points, obviously. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.